We are here at the Palacio Ludovice in beautiful Lisbon, and we just got a tour of what a remarkable facility this is. Teresa, let's start with you. For someone who hasn't been here before, what will they experience when they first walk into this place?
Well, thank you very much for being here and having this opportunity to explain a little bit of this perfect gem in Lisbon. The experience and the feeling people have when coming into Ludovice, it's quite unique. And the surprise of entering a palace that is over 300 years and has so much to tell, and you can feel it the moment you look at the walls, you see the tiles, you see the ceilings, the original architecture of the building. It kind of immerses you into the beginning of its wonderful history, basically.
And there's a ton of great history here that we learned all about, and it is there's many rooms here as well. Why don't you tell our listeners and viewers about some of the different rooms that are here?
So, as I had the opportunity to mention to you earlier, this was the private house of Mr. Ludovice. So, being a private house, the 61 rooms are quite unique, each and every one of them. So, we have rooms that are not only in terms of size and architecture different, but also in terms of the decoration itself. Some are green, some are blue, some are pink and beige. And we have two very special rooms that actually were the old kitchens of the palace, and you really need to come and see the wonderful Portuguese tiles, floor to ceiling, to really appreciate those rooms. And that's it. You really don't have two rooms that are absolutely equal, because each area, each space had to be adapted into a beautiful and unique room. That's what guests have the opportunity to experience.
Now, I have to ask about one room in particular. I believe it was the last room we saw, and this has been recognized in a very, very special way, to say the least. Why don't you tell our audience about that?
Well, we are so proud. That's true. That's the Ludovice Prestige. We actually have two rooms that are the Ludovice Prestige. This is our best room, although they're all amazing, I must say. But the Ludovice Prestige it's actually the biggest. It's approximately 65 square meters. And it's been recognized by the Raw Report magazine in the United States at the end of the year as one of the 50 best hotel suites in the world. And we couldn't be prouder, of course.
And as you should be, we got to look at it, we got to walk around. It took a long time to actually walk around the whole room because it's so big. So that was really cool. And something that we are about to experience is a little wine tasting. And let's go to you first. So how many different kinds of wine are here right now?
Well, so Portugal as a whole, although it's not very well known, you can expect very different experiences from all throughout the country. We are rich in very little microclimates all around the country and a lot of grapes as well. Portugal has the highest native count of grapes in the world, 264. Just for you to know, that is the same amount as Germany, France, Italy, and Spain all combined. Okay, here. Now the wine experience that you're going to have is, of course, a little brief explanation of every single wine region in Portugal, along with some wines to taste, of course. That wouldn't be a wine tasting without them. And, of course, all to have fun, a little bit more of an educational experience for everyone. And, yeah, that's usually what we do in the hotel. Every single guest at the hotel has a free wine tasting just to understand a little bit more about Portugal, which is our aim in the hotel, is to show off a little bit of an old world country that is on this little square, but not very well known outside, and that's our aim, at least here in the restaurant.
I can't wait for this experience. But before we wrap up here, a couple of quick ones. I understand that there's also a cocktail menu. There are 8 cocktails, and they each all have some wine in it. Is that right?
So in our bar, which is a wine bar, we're the only bar in Lisbon that actually does cocktails with wine to fit the wine experience theme of the restaurant. All of them made by our let's say, fantastic bar manager, Daniel Palma. All of them are a very different experience with a very different component. None of them have a repeated wine, more or less. You can have a taste of green wine, rosé, sparkling, fortified, wherever does your fancy. So please come visit us and watch our signature cocktails.
This might be a tough question to really wrap up here, but if you could pick one to sample right now, what would it be?
Right now, I always choose our best cocktail. Here Comes the Wine. Also, our names are, let's say, inspired on songs that everyone knows. Nobody doesn't know the old songs from rock culture. So Here Comes the Wine is a very well-balanced wine made out of green wine, honey syrup, basil, and a little bit of lime juice. Very well-balanced, not very fruity, but very well-rounded. And that is my favorite, just to try. If you prefer something a little bit sweeter, smells like wine spirit, also has a very good presentation with a big bubble of citrusy on top of it. Just amazing.
Okay, I'll ask you the same question, Teresa. If you could pick one drink that you had to sample right after this interview, what would it be?
I think I would also go to the Here Comes the Wine. Because I think it's the freshness, maybe. It's the looks of it, it's immediately you want to try it, but then when it comes into your mouth and it kind of freshens up everything, it's just amazing. I would go for that one.
Well, if you're heading to Portugal, the Palacio Ludovice is a place you have to come and check out and stay. Guys, thanks for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.